Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Aggrieved youths in the Niger Delta and youths in other parts of the country continue to query the justification for the award of a 4 billion naira pipeline surveillance contract to Chief Government Ekpemupolo, popularly known as Tompolo. Some concerned Niger Deltans have called on the federal government to immediately deploy conflict prevention strategies to stave off tension in Nigeria's oil-rich region. While some respondents described the call for the termination of the contract by RLY youths as absurd and inconsistent with national objectives of reduced oil theft and increased daily oil output, others prevail on the federal government to look into the genuine grievances of other youths in the Niger Delta. In over a decade, the Nigerian economy has been severely battered by unrestrained oil theft in the Niger Delta. In more recent times, the decline in the country's daily oil output has been unprecedented in spite of heavy deployments of security operatives to the Niger Delta. This prompted the Nigerian authorities to rethink its energy security strategy with the award recently of a 4 billion naira pipeline surveillance contract to Chief Government Ekpemupolo, popularly known as Tompolo. Reacting to the federal government's action, the amalgamated RLY Youth Group recently stormed headquarters of the NNPC Limited in Abuja, demanding a cancellation of the contract. According to the group's spokesman, Victor Dunia, youths in other geopolitical zones should be empowered to take charge of security in their domain if the contract must remain.
We wish to call on Mr. President, our father, the father of the nation, to immediately set up a mechanism to organize youth in other geopolitical zones into security cluster and give them necessary support so that they can bring peace to their various regions.
In a counter-reaction, Executive Director of Youth Advocacy Center, Dunamene Fineface, welcomes the pipeline surveillance contract awarded to Tompolo as capable of addressing the menace of oil theft in the Niger Delta. Fineface advises the federal government to take further steps to provide alternative livelihoods for operators of artisanal crude oil refining who will soon be out of business.
It's important for us to talk about modular refinery now. It's important for us to talk about the establishment of the Presidential Artisanal Crude Oil Refining Development Initiative, AKUGHA, which legalizes to an extent artisanal crude oil refining. The same way we have the Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Development Initiative, PAGMI, established for youths who are engaged in illegal gold mining in parts of the northern and western Nigeria.
National Chairman of South-South Chiefs and Elders Forum, Chief Omubo Harry, says the RLY youths are only being meddlesome as they have no idea what it takes to live in an ecologically devastated region like the Niger Delta. For Chief Harry, the contract awarded to Tompolo serves national interest.
I will use the word is fantastic in the sense that it is people that own the place know how to secure it. Without any sentiment, Niger Delta, where oil is coming from, is where Tompolo came from. And if the federal government today has reasoned wisely to be able to appoint Tompolo to protect oil theft, it's a very, very good development. I say kudos to them. At least it's a good sense of direction.
Expectedly, the pipeline surveillance contract awarded to Tompolo is upsetting other groups who are now demanding their own fair share of the largesse. In a video that has gone viral, a certain self-styled General Empe alleges marginalization of other ex-militant leaders in the 4 billion naira pipeline surveillance contract award.
NCTL line has 90-something kilometers, and a particular community has 83 kilometers in it. You did not give any of them the job, and you went and took the job to somebody who is in a process to give him the job because you want to connect with him and eat the money. When we have the lives of the former IBC president, Tokobo Alhaji Asari is there, Aishif Ateketom is there, you did not give to them. But let me tell you, I, General Empe, even if the leaders accept it, Me, I will not accept it.
Port Harcourt-based legal practitioner Richard Nwokocha, who welcomes the idea of local policing of crude oil and gas facilities in the Niger Delta, advises the federal government to devise means of placating aggrieved groups for peace to reign in the region.
It would possibly have been more prudent if the contract had been democratized. Agitations were by different groups and different persons in different parts of the region. It would have been better done if it was perhaps done by states and choosing persons, Tompolos in the various states, persons who represent that leadership height of the constituency.
President Muhammadu Buhari had, on assumption of office, terminated a similar contract the government of President Goodluck Jonathan awarded to Tompolo and ordered for his arrest. In re-awarding the pipeline surveillance contract to Tompolo, the government of the day must have weighed the pros and cons of its action. Already, Tompolo is said to have held meetings with stakeholders preparatory to the renewed campaign against oil theft in the Niger Delta. The expectation is that under the present dispensation, oil thieves will no longer have a field day in the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta,